Hi Sculpture class, here is the videos on how to make your jewelry tray with the paper clay. So paper clay is very different from the plasticine that we have used it for our maquette. As the name is paper clay, it is made out of paper fiber. And so the characteristic of this clay is a little like a mix of fabric and clay or paper and clay if you want to go that way. The point is, it will not break apart easily, nor as easy to manipulate as the plasticine. I would recommend you taking a small piece out and play with it before you start making your real piece of work so that you will get some ideas of how it will behave in your hand. Here I have my wooden board, cutter, scissors, a piece of scrap paper and some of the sculpting tools, plus a cup of water and a glass bottle, so we will use all of that. Also, the package is resealable, so please follow the instruction written on the package. But in reality, it is not very good on making it airtight seal. So if you can find a Tupperware to store it, it would be great too. As this clay is air dry, meaning if you leave it out in the open, it will dry and you will not be able to resculpt it again. So please make sure you seal it tightly. So my design for today's demos is the barbecue pan, because why not? I do miss it dearly. So to help myself on getting the dimension of the base right, I made my guideline on the paper to tell me the size of the base. And after that, I took out a chunk of clay, roll it onto a small ball, and used the glass bottle to roll it out again into the flat piece. A tip on this is don't make it too thin because it's going to be brittle, and don't make it too thick because that is going to make it hard to dry. So around 0.5 to 1 centimeter thickness is highly recommended. And now I can cut it into my desired shape. As you may notice, the fiber kind of keep the whole of the materials together. So be careful when you cut it. Make sure you have cut it apart before you separated them. After the cutting, the edges will look a little fluffy and spiky like this. You can dip your fingers into the water to smooth it out. So on the manipulation part, feel free to try out different tools that will help you out. So there's no right or wrong, it's just the matter of you experiment it. If you see any crack or a rough surface, you can use the water to smooth it out as well. And for sticking two parts together, you can pretty much wet the contact surface and press that two pieces together and blend it out afterwards. But for the 3D parts or something that stick out entirely, you can sculpt it separately and we can glue them back together once it's fully dried. For tiny details that is thin and needed to be in precise shape, I recommended using a scissor to cut it. And my piece is pretty much done. Additionally, for those who have got the design with a tall structure, you can use the aluminum wire to help keep the whole of the shape. It will act like a skeleton to your sculpture, and of course, tools can help create texture. And for a sculpt like human head, it will be pretty hard for you to hold it while you're sculpting. So stick a piece of the wire into it would be a great holder and it will help quite a lot. And after everything is done, please place it into the place where it has a nice airflow and put it outside in direct sunlight will speed up the drying process as well. Or if you are that kind of no weight kind of person, using a hairdryer will help too. And don't worry about the color stain on your hands and tools. It is easily washed off with soap and water. And as you can see in these photos, the place where it started to dry, the color will look a little paler than the place that is still damp and not dry yet. So please make sure everything looks like the same colors before we start processing on the next step. And that's it for the making. Feel free to make more than one piece if you would like, but spare some of the paper clay for the future use as well. See you in class, and thank you very much for watching.